Candlepins for Dollars is brought to you by your New England Toyota dealer, Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin', and Sullivan Tire and Auto Service.
There was another fantastic bowler turnout at Ernie and Teddy's Academy Lanes in Bradford, Mass. When all was said and done, 3 first-timers made the grade, as well as 3 ladder veterans, with the likes of Surratt, Tringali, and one of the game's premier power hitters, the top gun from Lynn, Mass, Shawn Baker.
All right, boys in the ladder, come and get me.
Who will be the one left standing, the one to take home the 3rd ladder championship? Find out next on Candlepins for Dollars.
Precision and power best describes this 22-year-old Pro Tour bomber from Lynn, Mass. Put your hands together for Dave the Razor Barber. Making a return trip to the finals, this bomber from Lynn is a 2-time Easter Tournament winner. Please welcome the 2005 Bowler of the Year, Shawn Baker. From New England, the Candlepin bowling capital of the universe. Small ball just got a whole lot bigger. World champion bowlers. Fierce competition. Big cash prizes. It's Candlepins for Dollars.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Pilgrim Lanes. We're here in Haverhill, Mass. We got a packed house tonight because it is championship night of our 3rd ladder series. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Mallicoat, along with my co-partner here. That is Mike Morin. Delighted to have you aboard. It is the number 6 seed who's doing the Shawn Baker, working his way all the way up the ladder. That's Dave Barber out of Lynn, going up against another man from Lynn. That is Shawn Baker, who's in the catbird seat. Talk about both bowlers in just a moment, but what are they playing for? Well, some pretty big bucks, that's for sure. The loser of this match goes away in pretty good shape with $1,000. The winner, $1,500, and a chance to go into our championship round later this summer. And there's some bonus bucks too, Mike.
There is indeed, Frank. The TNT bowling bucks, $25 for every 3 marks in a row consecutively. Then we add another $25. TNTvacations.com. But wait, there's more. Triple Strike will get our bowler a trip for 2 for 7 days at the Holiday Inn Sunspree Resort in Aruba. Air included again. TNT Vacations coming up big with money and vacations for our Candlepin for Dollars bowlers.
And our 3rd ladder sets up like this. Not much to say except Barber, Baker.
Same way it said Baker several weeks ago on our 1st ladder. So it's very interesting, and it's very, very unusual to see the bowler from the bottom make it all the way to the top, going against a bowler who was in the same position just a couple of months ago.
So let's talk about Dave Barber. He's 21 years of age. He hails from Lynn, and he's been wowing them week after week.
He has indeed. He's been most impressive. His high single is 192. His high triple is 475, coming in with an average of 124. Frank, for every of the last 4 weeks, he's been well over his 124 average.
And how about Shawn Baker? You may remember him from our 1st ladder series, coming up from the 6th spot all the way to the 1 spot before losing to Gene Gallagher. And here he is, Shawn Baker.
In rarefied air with an average of 130. High single also way up there at 213. His high triple, 492. His hometown is Lynn, and boy, have we got a match for you guys today.
It is the title match of our 3rd ladder. Without further ado, it's time to bowl. Up first, Dave Barber. And Barber was 6, 4 to go. Dad still watching? Week after week. How about that, Mike Morin?
Had enough frozen wood there. Sometimes wood could interfere with the 4 horsemen, but there was enough wood right there. You can see that it just kind of wood to wood to wood, taking down the 4 standing pins to spare.
A little vibration, and down they fall. Let's see if he can add a few. And a tough fill. Tough fill. Well, if you've been watching week after week, Dave Barber's been mowing everybody down. His 5th show, coming from the 6th seed all the way to the number 1 spot here, with the winner of this match going into our championship round. Baker nearly did it in our 1st ladder series. Barber tried to do it here. Settles for an 8 box, and out of the gate, he's got 20.
7th pin had gone down, he'd had a backdoor strike. But he's got a nice clear shot at the 7 pin.
Who's got the advantage? Is it Barber doing the workman's work each week, or is it Baker just sitting and waiting?
That is a tough question. Wow.
Missing right side.
130 average, so statistically and experience-wise, I think you have to favor Baker. But you know what? The momentum right now is Barber.
Shawn Baker, he loves to bowl. Here's what he had to say about the sport, candlepin bowl.
When I was a kid, my parents brought me down when I was a kid, and it was just one of those things. I just loved the bowl. It was, you know, couldn't wait to go down there all the time when I was a kid. I was where I wanted to go, and you know, I got good at it, and just kept going. And here I am.
Nearly kept up that streak with sound and a marker, but misses the 10 pin there.
But the 10 pin moved forward a couple of inches. It nearly went down from the breeze.
Gone now. 2 10 boxes for Mr. Baker, so they're even Steven after 2. 20-20.
Big payday for both these guys. $1,500 to the champion and a spot in the Tournament of Champions later this summer.
Not to mention bragging rights in the city of Lynn. Both hail from Lynn.
Yeah.
Talking to Barber, he's always looked up to Shawn Baker. Bowling leagues together, know each other very well. Although Shawn's got about 9 years on him. One's 30, one's 21. And a 10 box there. So why does Dave Barber love candlepin bowling? Well, listen for yourself.
The challenge. It really is. It's another part of it too is you get that one string or one match or a couple weeks where you're just on top of your game and you feel like you can't miss a thing. And it's those strings and matches that get you coming back. But it's definitely a challenge too. It's probably one of the hardest things it's hardest sports I've ever been involved in.
Well, while David was chatting, he was knocking them all down with a strike. Not too shabby. Here's Baker.
And Shawn nearly had one still while we were listening to Barber talk, leaving the 5 pin.
Grabs the 5, spare him up. This is going to be a fun match, Mike. Both passionate, emotional bowlers. Baker right down Broadway, leaving a few here.
And he's feeling a lot better than he was during the last ladder when he was sick for a good number of weeks that we were bowling.
A little touch of the flu. He looks pretty healthy now, though, huh?
He does.
That's his brother Chris showing his appreciation for a pretty fine shot.
And it was the piece of wood that was in the gutter that actually took down the 7th pin.
Barber can respond. Coming off the strike. Oh! Glad to get that one down.
He'll hope to avoid clipping that one piece of wood and just get it cleanly. Well,
got a little bit both.
Yep.
He did. So he fills that strike with a 10, 50 through 4, with a spare working here in the 6th. And would love to get a few more than that. Tough fill there with 3. Oh my goodness, that might have been able to grab those other 2.
He hit it perfectly, but couldn't take out the 4 and the 7. He'll settle for a 10 at best in the 6th frame.
He's usually a fast starter. You may recall a couple of weeks ago against Ed Tringali with that 192. Highest score on Candlepins for dollars yet for a single string.
That's true. And that very same day, Frank, highest triple so far at 440, eclipsing his previous record setter from a week before at 431.
If anyone can do it, it's Baker. Let's watch. And that coming off a spare. Give him 6 more.
Well, if he can slide that 2 pin over, he can take out the 610 with that extra piece of wood. Too heavy.
Baker, an electrician, father of 1. Looking for 10, got 9. Add 9 to his 53. Sitting at 62-72. The box to go here.
A lot of splits so far for Shawn Baker.
You bumped into this guy a time or two on Channel 50, I guess.
Boy,
huh?
that's for sure. He won a lot of money on the old Channel 50 show. I think one time he had 4 strikes in a row. Won something like $1,100 bonus money.
Well, 3 will take him to Aruba. Love to give that away. Oh, look at that.
Oh, my.
Oh, good thought. Well, if he can nail this, they will be tied after 6, 72-72. And by golly, that's exactly what they've done. We've got an even match thus far, folks. We're through 6 boxes. We're going to finish string number 1. It is 72-72. You're watching Candlepins for Dollars. Stay with us, everybody.
Our Candlepins for Dollars House of the Week. This time is Leo's Super Bowl on Haverhill Road in Amesbury, Massachusetts. Mike Leo, the proprietor, and some of his kids from the junior leagues are here today at Pilgrim Lanes. That's Leo's Super Bowl, our House of the Week.
Frank Mallicoat along with Mike Morin. We're back to action here. We're in the first ring, and it doesn't get much closer to this. 72-72. Even Steven after 6. Here's Dave Barber, box 7. Half Worcester, right side.
Again, you want to hit the head pin slightly right or slightly left. He's going to the left side, but missed the object pin completely and still has a difficult 1, 5, 6, 10 to pick up.
If you don't know the Barber story, he was an alternate and got in because our good friend Stu Bergman had a little surgery and had to bow out of the ladder series. We wish Stu well. He's doing fine now. And this guy snuck in through the back door and has nearly run the table from the 6th seed. 4 straight wins. And looking to knock off Baker right now.
Do you think if he wins it all, he owes Stu Bergman a dinner perhaps at some point down the road?
I would say at least a dinner.
This would be one of the most remarkable TV bowling stories ever, to come in on that kind of a technicality and then possibly run the table from the bottom to win it all.
Well, keep in mind, too, Chuck Lozella and him were tied in the roll-off. They went to the first tiebreaker, which is high score in the string, and they were both 141. They went to the second game, and he lost by 3 or 4 pins. I was there when he got the message, and he was obviously very disappointed. And then when he got the call several weeks ago, hey, we need you to bowl.
He couldn't believe it, huh?
Yeah, he was pretty thrilled. And he's made the most of it, that's for sure. As did Shawn Baker a couple of months ago in our first ladder. He's got a toughie here.
Spread eagle minus the 10 pin with some wood nestled up against the 6. And the wood didn't do any good for him. He'll go for the 3 on the right-hand side, the 2, 4, and 7.
Ooh, got a bit of a spinner there. Settles for the 8 box. His brother Chris cheering him on with the Notre Dame cap. His wife by his side as well, watching. Shawn only has to win 1 this time around. A little bit easier. And that's his wife, Carrie, right there.
Married about 5.5 years. And they have 1 daughter, Megan. So he breezes by the object pin and will settle for a 10. In any event, he'll take the lead into the 9th frame.
Get 1 more here. Right you are. Throw a 9 on there. Give him an 89. And right now he's got the lead by 2 pins through 8 boxes here in the first string. Four marks combined for the 2 bowlers thus far. Even Steven, each has 2.
Which is a little surprising. We thought it might be lights out between these 2 guys, Frank.
Certainly, if you look at past track records, Barber went bananas a couple of weeks ago against Tringali with the 192 and has won quite a bit of money thanks to the fine folks at TNT, the bonus bucks, but no one able to get it together here in the first string just yet.
Just pokes the 3 pin out for a 7 box. And he's just going to barely hit 100 unless he throws a mark up in the 10th frame.
How about that? After that 192, he came back with a 93 and then finished with a 150 plus, I believe, for that 440.
Missing the head pimp again, leaving the 1-7. And the wood, not a factor.
Both men from Lynn. And one more to go for the 10 box. Got some wood in the way. And nails it. Give him a 10 box. And he finishes. Is it just a 9, pardon me?
Yeah, it hit the wood in the gutter, and that point becomes a dead ball.
Well, chalk up 9 and a 103. Dave Barber, and outside of that 93, one of his lower scores throughout the march here. Look at that. As I recall, Baker did a lot of that in the first ladder series.
All right, what do we do with this one? The wood now gives him pretty much an open, clean shot at the 9 pin.
Perfect shot. Spare him up in the 9th.
Well, what great skill it takes.
From Pelletier there, that was Gene Gallagher as well. Gene awaiting one of these men here in the months to come in the championship round.
He's really been scouting the talent, hasn't
he? He lives here. There we go. So Baker getting hot here at the end of string number 1 with a spare strike.
9 pin, the last to go. Taken down by a couple of pieces of wood on the plate. Had a chance at TNT bowling bucks with another mark here in the 10th frame.
All right, Coach. What are we doing here?
You pretty much have to play the wood. Maybe you try to cap the one piece and hope for some scatter, which is exactly what he did.
Hey,
perfect.
How about that? Off the strike, give him 10 more.
And 25 bucks.
And $25 to boot. So Baker coming on strong here to take string number 1, 129 to 103. String number 2 coming up. You're watching Candlepins for Dollars. Stay with us. Well, that's what you see, and the end result is a beautiful spare by Shawn Baker as he comes on strong in that final string and takes a 26-pin lead, Mike Morin, and it looked like it was going to be nip and tuck. At 26 pins out of the gate, that's a spot Dave Barber really hasn't seen.
Yeah, it's the toughest start that Barber's had as well. Baker capitalized with 3 marks to end the game, so he's in good shape to start string number 2. And Big 20 is one of our newest Candlepins for Dollars family members. To get you qualifying, just be on our show, Big 20 Bowling Center in Scarborough, Maine. Thank you, Chris Anton, a longtime bowling proprietor of Scarborough, and Rick Jones as well. So please visit them and qualify for Candlepins for Dollars at the Big 20 in Scarborough.
Baker with wood, 1 pin to get, and the wood gets in the way. No spare this time around. But now it's a clean shot for perhaps a 10 box here in the first. Goes Woodside, misses, leads 1, give him a 9. And it looked like a pretty good shot, but it leaves 3.
3, 5, 10, piece of wood up against the 5 pin. Could be helpful. Got to hit the object pin, of course, to make this happen.
Oh, look at that.
Where did that pin fall from?
Looks like it went out of the picture and then came back down and dropped on. Very nice shot for the spare here in the second box. And Dave Barber in an unfamiliar spot, looking up at someone for a change. As I mentioned, down 26 going into the second string.
And that's the position that Baker was in last time when he had been coming from the bottom up. Suddenly, he was looking at Gallagher, who had the lead and, of course, won it from the number 1 seed.
Nice blaster, but leaving the kingpin. So he matches Baker's 9, still trailing by 26. Baker coming off the spare there. See if Dave Barber can add one.
2, 3, and the 6. And the wood is not really too much in play. Got wood on a parallel plane. It's difficult to make this kind of spare without some kind of help from the wood or a sidewalk kick.
Oh, split the difference. Center cut leads all 3. Try to get 8 here now, or 9, 10. Once again, down Broadway. How about a 7? 16. Baker adding to his lead now. Oh, it looked like he had enough action to bring down the kingpin, but it remains. But how about that spare? He fills it with a 9. Vintage Baker here. Hitting well. Missing there, though. And nailing that for the 10. I was at the roll-off, and I got to tell you, Mr. Baker rolled pretty well. He had a 189. It was very close to a 200. Came up markless in his last 2 boxes. Here's Shawn talking about a near 200 game.
It was there. I needed at least one more strike in there. I threw 9 drop, 9 drop, 9 drop. You know, 1 or 2 of those are strikes, and you know I'm at the 200. But you know, it's not all about the 200. It's just about throwing the score high enough to beat the top 2 is what you want to do.
Well, he'll be happy with that. That's another spare.
The amazing thing about that 189, there was not a triple strike in there, just a double.
It's amazing. We probably had 50, 60 bowlers here. And when one guy starts really pouring it on, how everything kind of quiets down and all the attention focuses on that lane.
Well, we remember that so well. Gene Baker.
Take us through this one, Mike Morin.
All right, there was a lot of wood that really just helped out a lot. The ball was placed in the proper place in the 1 and 3, and then the wood on the deck did the rest.
You were talking about Gene's 210 game, though.
Exactly, and we were there for that one as he qualified to become the top seed in our first ladder, and that 210 game was amazing, and yes, the place did stop and watch the last few boxes.
And he did have a triple.
Yes. You can't get a 210 without a triple.
Is that right?
That's true. Best you can do with just a double is 209.
Go.
All my years of 10-pin bowling prior to moving to New England, having 200, you can do the math real quickly on what you need for certain strings and certain games.
When was the last time you had a 210?
It's been a few years, Frank. Oh, you mean in 10-pin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In either?
No. Never come close to that in Candlepin.
Baker's ball just explodes off the pins.
Well, with a 130 average, you have to have a little something extra that most of the other bowlers don't have, and that's just that extra work, that extra revolution too. And a spare.
And a little English at the end to knock him down. He's pretty animated, and so is Barber when he gets hot. Nice spare for Baker, 55, and sitting on a spare.
Adding to his lead, which was 26 pins starting this game. Forward fill. Probably go to the left-hand side of the head.
Whoa!
So he was trying for the right-hand side, hoping to clip it, and the deflected ball to get the 6 and the 10. Didn't work.
Next time goes left side and too thick. Give him 6. Dave Barber trying to play catch-up here.
Seems to have lost the touch he had for the last 4 weeks when his triples were 392, 431, 440, and 386 last week.
Well, that'll work. Nails the 2. Give him a spare. Oh!
Got the wood all bunched up there. Should work for him. The 2 and the 4.
Nice 8 fill there, too, on that spare.
Nice little jump start for what's been kind of a difficult first half of this game.
Back-to-back spares. Mighty impressive for Mr. Barber. But right now, it's Mr. Baker that is out in front. It's our championship of ladder number 3. There are the numbers. We'll be back with Candlepins for Dollars right after this. Welcome back, everybody. You see the numbers right there. It is Shawn Baker out in front. We're 6 boxes through the second string, up 34. And Baker trying to qualify for the championship round and looking sharp. Love to send that one back home to Mom, though, huh?
Well, he hit the headpin, which is what you always want to try to do, but you don't want to hit it quite as flush as he did. Big fat split.
Well, that cleans up well with a little wood in the back.
Yeah, he's going to actually have a pretty good out for this box. Can pick up these two.
Far right, missing 1, given 9, sitting at 84 through 7.
The bowlers that he plowed through the last time around in the first ladder included Ed Tringali, Joe Casio, Jeff Surratt, and Skip Easterbrook, finally losing to Gene Gallagher. 401 to 338 on April 1st.
And I asked Shawn after he lost to Gene, I go, are you disappointed? He goes, a little bit, but you know what? It means I'll be back in a couple of months. I can make some more dough. You know? And that's what he's doing. Oh! How about that?
That was from behind.
Let's take another look.
Look at that. Pin out of the gutter, gets clipped, and comes back, takes out the head pin.
That's what makes this game so much fun. You never know. Nice spare for Baker. And Barber working off a spare as well. See what he can do to fill it up. Oh!
He would like to have had the 5-pin stay up there. Of course, he gets a bigger fill now, but a much more difficult spare to convert. Completed boxes, they are tied in this game. Still a couple mark difference, though, between Baker and Barber. Thought he'd use the wood on the left gutter, but it did not work for him, and probably the best he can do is get a 9 here.
And a 9 it is. We asked Dave Barber about his most memorable moment aside from his 192, and it was an Easter tournament that I believe Shawn Baker won a couple of years ago. Here's Mr. Barber.
I think the biggest one so far is definitely the Easter 20 string. I had no expectations coming in. I come in hoping to do well and just bowl well and make an impression, but I ended up coming in third that last year, and it was an unbelievable feeling to come in third, bowling with all those guys and all those great guys up there, and it's just a great feeling.
It really is the Boston Marathon of Candlepin bowling, Frank.
Gotta see this again.
Piece of wood on the right-hand side. Check it out.
Look at that.
So the wood takes out the 7 and the 8, and the ball deflects takes out the 10.
Almost simultaneously,
yes,
too. They both get nailed, and off they go. Back to Baker. And you were talking Easter tournament.
Easter tournament, as I said, is kind of the Boston Marathon of Candlepin bowling, although actually it's a longer event. Starts 11 in the morning. They bowl 10, take a break for lunch, bowl 10 more. By the time they're done, it's 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, my.
But $5,000 to the bowler that can grind it out.
Talk about grinding. Spare them up.
Looked like he blew a light or something back there. See if we can notice this at the very end of the shot. Yeah, well, I'm not sure what that was all about.
Might be one of our cameras, for crying out loud, but all for the good of the cause.
Back-to-back spares. TNT bowling bucks for another one here.
And a 7 fill.
It's the 245, a pretty makeable spare. Piece of wood just off to the upper right of the 5-pin.
Oh, nothing doing there. That hurt. Leaves 1, no spare. He gets this at the 127. So give him a 126, which is 4 below his average. But right now he's doing the job as Barber steps up for his last 2 boxes here in the second string.
Still got some ground to make up after being 26 pins behind, leading and going into this game.
Oh, that's a tough one. Pretty simple spare. That'll cost him a few. And misses again, so 9 box. A pretty strong first ball, 103. And would love a mark here.
He'd like it to rock into the 6-pin. Ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
And again, he's got that parallel wood. Piece of wood is getting very close to the deadwood line, which is why Andrew Medeiros, who is our foot foul and lob line judge, and now he also checks out the pin is not on the deadwood line, which is 18 inches in front of the head pin.
Do you hit the wood here or try to go around?
I think you hit the wood because you're not going to get it with just a straight shot because the wood is on a parallel plane. So you hope that the wood can ricochet off if you hit it.
Hitting the key there.
Yes.
Missing left, 2 to go. And grabs 1. So there you go, folks. We are through 2 strings, a 126 to 112 victory for Shawn Baker, our top seed, who right now is plus 40. We've got the final frame. Make that string coming up. But first, it's time for the Duncan Challenge, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Mallicoat. It is time for tonight's Duncan Challenge. America runs on Duncan, and tonight's contestant is Norm Pelletier out of Peabody. Good luck, Norm. Take it away. If Norm gets a strike, he'll have a shot at a trip for 2 anywhere in the continental U.S. If he knocks down the special Duncan Candlepin, Norm wins a $100 Duncan gift card. Nice try, Norm. You'll receive a $25 Duncan gift card, and that's today's Duncan Challenge. Welcome back, everybody. Candlepins for dollars. We're in the final string of our championship match. That is Dave Barber. He's been the champ so far. He's marched through the first 4 weeks, but meeting a pretty tough opponent in Shawn Baker thus far and trailing by 40 pins to make up. Can he do it, Mike?
Boston Bowl is, by the way, a new member of the Candlepins for Dollars family. You can qualify there if you'd like. As of today, Steve Nagel is the proprietor. And yes, he can come back to answer your question before I made a quick mention of my friends at Boston Bowl, and that was quite a shot to make.
Well, he made this, but he used the wood in the gutter.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Take a look.
I was looking down. Yep.
Beautiful shot, but sadly,
all I
play
saw
with the gutter wood
was the pins going down, and it is just a 7.
And 7 on that as well, with lots of wood to work with here.
Very makeable spare. 1, 8, and 10. Hit the object pin and see what happens.
Like butter. So Barber comes out with a 7 box and a spare, trailing by 40 pins with the 10 boxes here in the final string. And you know what? That's hard to beat. Shawn Baker with a big, mighty strike.
So 40-pin lead starting this game. You can add some more pins now. A strike up against a 7.
During his run, he had quite a few doubles. Probably jinxed him there.
He's looking charged up, though, isn't he? The body English is a little bit perhaps more pronounced than usual.
And his brother Chris there on the far right. I think he can smell it now. You get a 40-pin lead to this guy. He's not one to relinquish it. And there you go. Out of the box, he comes out. Strike and spare. Dave Barber's going to have to mark out from here and hope that Shawn slows down a little bit if he has any prayer.
Now it's a 53-pin lead now with 8 boxes to go.
No fun. Half Worcester. Oh, but leaves it up beautifully. Had me speechless there after the half Worcester, but Mike, gotta love this.
Hitting just slightly to the right-hand side of the head pin. Shakes him up for a spare, and that's the way to make it. You have to hit just slightly left or right at the head pin, regardless of which side you left the half Worcester.
Too far left on that shot.
That's for sure. The 4 horsemen and the 9 pin for a 5 fill. So his fills have been 2 and 5. He's making the spares, but the fills are not good, and he missed that one totally to the left.
Well, after that run, you wonder if it's best to be on top to do the 1 or work your way up from the bottom, and it looks like he's running out of gas a little bit. Settles for an 8 box. So a 42 after 4 for Barber. Baker working on a spare here. 3rd box.
2005 WCBC Bowler of the Year, making him the best pro bowler.
Oh! 3 boxes, 3 marks, 2 strikes and a spare.
Frank, a $25 TNT bowling bucks payment. Now to Shawn Baker. We'll add another $25 if he throws a spare or strike right here.
He did mention that, too. He said the nice part about working your way up from the bottom is you got a shot at making some more dough.
That's true.
He did okay, too, as I recall, that first ladder. Got a 61-pin lead thus far.
So we'll stop at 25 and reset it for the next bowler to get 3 marks in a row.
How about that, Shawn Baker, the pin breaker?
No, the light breaker.
Is that what that said?
Well, it says pin breaker, but he, of course, busted a light on lane 3 midway through the last game, or at least the flash would appear that he broke the light.
Well, there's the score. Baker up 67 pins now. And I think he knows how Dave Barber feels after Gene Gallagher did pretty much the same thing to him.
Exactly. And a pick.
And a miss left side, 9 box. Along with that 8 with a 51. Oh! That'll wake you up in a hurry. Ski right.
And Barber's kind of shaking his head like, I don't know how that happened.
Where the heck has that been all day long, you know?
Nice to see him smile. It's not been a real fun day for Dave Barber.
Baker trying to will him down. 2 to go. 1 at a time.
Shawn Baker finished 21st in the Easter Classic a couple of months ago at Leda Lanes, the 20-string all-day event. Didn't make any money. They stopped paying out after number 15.
He just nailed another light, Mike.
There we go.
While you were reading.
He's going to be getting the bill for this, $1,500.
I'm looking down at his bio, and he's an electrician, so we might have to put him to work after this.
I wonder if he brought his tools with him.
Well, the lanes are still working, so that's okay. Oh, 1 left. Get his routine down a little bit.
Yeah, he's just waiting to see what the wood does. Technically, the bowlers are supposed to wait till the wood is done moving around. He's got a straight shot now for 5 pin.
Well done. So a 10 box, make that a spare to finish it off. We got the conclusion of our 3rd string, our final string. There are the numbers. Stay with us, everybody. Hi again, everybody. Fresh Mallicoat along with Mike Morin. We're about to finish our championship ladder number 3. Dave Barber right there taking on Shawn Baker. Can you make up 68 pins, partner, in 4 boxes?
Doubtful, to be honest with you.
I don't think so.
So the only drama that's really left, Frank, is if Baker can bowl a 147 game, he will be the top seed so far in the Tournament of Champions. Gene Gallagher is at 401, and we're seeding the bowlers according to their final championship match score. And in this case, if Baker can get a 147, I'll give him 402, and we'll put him in the top spot.
There you go. Well, Barber coming out strong with the spare. And a pretty decent fill. Could he get it?
Nope. Still time for TNT bowling bucks for both our bowlers, including Dave Barber. He's got the shaking 2-pin. He picks it up. We'll give him $25 from TNT Vacations.
And over 5 weeks, he's cashed in a number of times.
Yeah, he's probably approaching $450 to $500. Somewhere in there. He's going to make $1,000 today.
That 192 game, I think he cashed in big time on
did.
that. Here comes Baker working off a spare. Needs some marks here to reach that 147.
He's in good shape with a 79.5. That's like a 158 game if he does a similar, second half.
1 to get for the 10 box. And it's done. 10 box, 106, 3 to go. I would say he'd have that at hand if he just bowls Shawn Baker way.
2 out of 3 marks will pretty much guarantee it with some good fills.
That's That's a little tough.
It's going to put his back against the wall now. There's no doubt he'll at least be in second. Anthony Pastore was quite a bit behind our good friend Gene Gallagher.
Kills the 3, leaves 2.
Anthony Pastore had 328, so no doubt about it, he'll be first or second seat, Shawn Baker will.
Trying to soft touch the 2 in the corner. Gets 1, leaves the 10. 9 box him up, 115 after 8 completed boxes.
He needs 2 marks right here to be the top seed.
And Dave with a tough fill there with 3. Even tougher, almost impossible shot there, huh, Coach?
Yeah, the high-low jack, as it's called. The old Channel 5 bonus money shot at the end of each show. They would have a rolling jackpot. If somebody could make that, they'd get whatever money had accumulated. It would often get up to $1,000.
And that can be done?
Oh, sure. Absolutely it can.
Need some kickers there.
Not often, though. Yeah, you need a little sidewall action.
Oh, look at that. 2 to get, left side. Finishing strong with a spare in that 10th box. He'll roll another ball. So at least a 120, plus whatever he gets on this. But well below some of the scores he's had throughout the last 4 weeks.
He has nothing to hang his head about. He's been an outstanding bowler and great competitor for 5 straight weeks.
And we'll do the math there. I believe a 3 fill. So add that up. You're going to get yourself a 123 and a final 3-string total of 338, I believe. And now for Mr. Baker. Try to win some extra cash and see if we can get that top seed. That'll work.
You can bet he knows what he needs to get into that #1 position.
A lot of Baker fans here. Remember, both bowlers are from Lynn, so it's been a pretty vocal crowd today. How about that?
Oh,
that's a tough get there.
He does need to make this to be the top seed.
Nope. Well, you know, Shawn, just more opportunity to make a few bucks.
That's true.
Well, and he misses both.
Although as a winner, he will not be coming back for any further ladders because he's secure now in the Tournament of Champions.
So Shawn Baker, victorious. He moves on to the Tournament of Champions. He sends Dave Barber home, who will live to bowl another day here for Candlepins for Dollars. But what a run for Dave Barber. We're going to chat with both bowlers and share the final numbers with you. There you see them. And if you still want a chance to win that new Toyota Tundra pickup truck, we're going to draw the names for those that are going to jump into the drawing. It's all coming up next, right here on Candlepins for Dollars.
Well, congratulations to our semifinalists here this week. Rick Andrew of Green Harbor, Mass. Also Greg Fortier of New Ipswich, New Hampshire. Cindy Wedlock is in the run. She's from Medford, Mass. Carl Nivens of Mount Vernon, New Hampshire. And finally, Chrissy Norwood of Peabody, Mass. All 5 in the grand prize drawing to bowl for that Toyota Tundra later this summer.
Well, no Toyota for Dave Barber, but quite a run. 5 straight weeks, and you finally met your match, I guess, in Shawn Baker. Your thoughts on that final match?
He bowled well. He 396, threw a good ball all day, but I just didn't have it today. I just couldn't hit the head pin and then couldn't convert on spares, so I just ran out.
Earlier, we asked you on one of the pre-interview questions where we had a little box on the side while you bowled, your biggest moment or your biggest thrill in bowling. You said it was 3rd place in the Easter Classic a couple of years ago. I would imagine this 5-run week on television's got to be up there now as one of your favorite memories.
This is definitely up there, especially the 192 high single. Throwing it on TV is just something you just dream about. So.
And beating the old man by a pin, right? 1
pin. I got him now, so I can brag about it with them now. So.
Can you share some thoughts that your dad, Hall of Famer Jim, had to say after this match here with Baker?
Actually, I haven't spoken to him yet, but I was looking back and forth during the whole match, and he was just trying to get me to, settle down a little bit, trying to get in a rhythm, but I couldn't.
Well, we have some money for you. This is why you're here. $1,000 for being runner-up, and TNT bowling bucks, another $425, $1,425. Congratulations.
Not bad
Enjoy
at all,
it.
Dave.
Yeah.
And thanks to the folks at Crown Trophy, we got something for the mantle at home. They're out of Middleton. Nice little trophy and a great run, and perhaps we'll see you back here in another ladder series.
Way to go, Dave.
Thank you very much. Let's bring up our winner, Shawn Baker, old hat at this stuff. Shawn, congratulations.
Way to go.
You beat the kid from Lynn. It's got to feel good, and you're now in where you want to be in that championship bracket.
Yeah, well, I got myself in now, and you know, Dave. I've known David for a lot of years, growing up with him. You know, he's a little younger, but I've still known him for a long time growing up, and he throws a really good ball. And he's one of the kids that you got to watch out for coming up. So you know, I got the best of him today, but you know, next time it might be a total different story.
Sure.
Shawn, were you aware that you needed a mark in the 10th box to be the top seed in the Tournament of Champions?
Yeah, I knew what I needed. You know, just that last string, I was really throwing a real good ball. I was just trying to keep putting it in there, and the last box, you know, unfortunately left a split like that. You don't make it too often, but you know.
Well, you're an electrician. What happened when you lit the plate up the deck up?
I didn't want to go to work today, but I don't know what that was. It was pretty interesting. It was good timing on, you know, a couple of when it happened. But
Pyrotechnics comes to Candlepin bowling.
I guess so. We are running out of time. I want to give you this beautiful trophy, thanks to the folks at Crown Trophy, something for the mantle. And you get a paycheck as well.
It's in here somewhere.
I think you've
got it, Frank.
Do I have it? There it is right there.
There it is.
It's only
$1,550.
How about that? How about a nice round of applause? Shawn Baker, everybody.
We'll see you this summer.
He is Shawn Baker. There's the ladder. Baker in the catbird seat wins it all. I'm Frank Mallicoat for Mike Morin. Thanks for watching, folks. It is ladder series number 4 next week. Until then, happy bowling, everybody.